Dari, thank you. As we get set for game number 2 today, feels like a must-win here in Hoover, Alabama for a pair of teams that are used to being in the postseason. Kentucky and Vanderbilt here in our second game of the day from Hoover. 17 games over 6 days. When the dust settles, we will crown a champion in Hoover.
I got the beast with the power.
Most feared bat in college baseball, Daniel Jackson.
Your SEC Triple Crown leader. Texas A&M's been red hot. Gavin Grohovac, Cade Sorrell, these two guys are dynamite.
Rearing back and delivering.
Texas is one of the best offenses in college baseball.
Dylan Fuentes, he's outstanding.
Superstar Justin LeBron, gone.
Breeze, go!
I am the machine. I must be fed.
Nothing like it. The best college baseball tournament in America.
It's gone! He caught it!
What a play!
Heroics again!
You got the best of the best here in Hoover, Alabama. Let's get it on.
Keep running.
You're watching the SEC Baseball Tournament on the SEC Network, presented by Regions Bank. Another gorgeous day in Hoover, Alabama, and a fired-up crowd for the 13-seed Kentucky Wildcats, 12-seed Vanderbilt Commodores in our second game of the afternoon. What a thriller. In game number 1, Missouri powered its way to a pair of home runs. Cam Durnan with one, Jace Woida with another, and the Tigers season highs in runs and hits and gets an SEC opponent with a 10-8 victory to keep Mizzou's season alive. They get Mississippi State tomorrow. State will be the home team. And the winner of this one draws Florida in the second game of day number 2 from Hoover. Welcome, everybody. Tom Hart alongside Todd Walker. Wow, what a game number 1. And now we move into game number 2, where Vanderbilt absolutely has to win. Kentucky can really feel better about its postseason hopes with a win.
Yeah, Kentucky's got a good RPI, but, man, they definitely need a win, and they know that. They've got their ace going today in Jackson Jelkin, and on the other side, Vandy with a big RPI probably needs to make a deeper run, but whoever loses tonight, they're in jeopardy of not making the postseason.
Well, it is a postseason streak of 19 years for Vanderbilt. By the way, we'll see LSU later tonight in a must-win situation. D1 Baseball has them both projected to miss, and while Vanderbilt needs to continue to win for Tim Corbin to make it back to the postseason, he said, I don't want to hear that from my team. I want our guys to play loose. The RPI north of 70, hurt by the strength of schedule. Some teams they thought would be better this season, including big names, not including Irvine and Texas Tech, and that has doomed Tim Corbin's team, unless, Todd Walker, they go on a run here.
Yeah, and they're going to need 2 or 3 wins. You see the RPI high. The DSR helps them a little bit. That includes a margin of victory, and you don't know what they're talking about at the table for the field of 64. They definitely want to give Vandy an opportunity if they give them a reason to put them in.
On the other side, Kentucky's projected as a 3 seed. D1 Baseball today has them among the last 4, and I had a long chat with Nick Mingione yesterday. He is confident they are in regardless. Their resume looks similar to last year when they made it in. They weren't even one of the last 4. However, you get a win today. If you're Nick Mingione, you sleep easier no matter what happens tomorrow. Is that accurate?
Yeah, and this feels like a last 4 in, first 4 out type of game. Again, whoever wins this might be one of the last 4 into the field of 64, but huge game for both. Of course, both aces going today. Connor Finnell on the other side for Vanderbilt, but we look at the lineup for Kentucky. Tyler Bell, the highest draft pick last year to reach a college campus. He was a 2nd-round pick. The shortstop switch hitter is going to be a high draft pick this year.
So here's Connor Fennell, the junior from Londonderry, New Hampshire, has had an up-and-down season. Thrust into the ace role for Vanderbilt. This will be his 15th start. He's 4-2 with a 4.80. Very good whip, just over 1. And 97 strikeouts and 80 2/3 for a guy who does not pitch in the upper 90s.
Yeah, low 90s fastball. He is a workhorse on a pitching staff that's been riddled by injury. 80 innings, pitchability's off the charts for a kid that, again, low 90s fastball. He's been pitched into the 6th, last 6 starts in a row, so he's got some length.
And the first pitch to Chase Thornish misses low. Thornish comes in for Kentucky, 5th in the SEC in batting average at .356. Kentucky team that does it with speed on the base paths. 121 bags this year, and the Junior from PA has 5 home runs and 37 driven in. He has 29 stolen bases. Little dribbler. Fennell fields his position well. And there's one down. Bottom line for Kentucky, they're not going to tear the cover off the ball. 286 average, middle of the league, 53 home runs, second fewest in the league. Then again, we said the same thing against Missouri, and what did the Tigers do? They went yard twice and pounded out 10 runs on 14 hits.
Yeah, Nick Michigan likes to call this offense anything it takes. They'll steal, they'll bunt. The 4 or 5 holes will bunt. They'll bunt in the second inning. They can pop you a homer, but they're pretty aggressive. A lot of coaches in the league say they're very difficult to plan against.
Here's Tyler Bell, and Bell looks at a first pitch strike. Be an interesting matchup here with Fennell versus Bell, who's hitting .347 with a half dozen home runs and a big time talent. Bell got injured first game of the season for Kentucky. He could have shut it down and still been a first-round pick. But he said, no, I believe this Kentucky team is good enough to win a national championship. With me in the lineup, we're going to keep playing.
Yeah, he did just that. Luke Lawrence on the team covered for him at shortstop, and now Luke Lawrence playing second base. Tyler Bell back. Equally good left side of the plate and right side. About 320 on both sides. And he's got some pop. Does really well in SEC play. 333. That's top 20.
First team all conference, missed 14 games with a left shoulder injury. And battling, stays alive. Spent last summer with Harwich in the Cape and with USA Baseball. Set the freshman home run record at Kentucky. Was all freshman team of the SEC. The #1 player coming out of Illinois a couple of years ago. And this one will find the seats on the left side, or at least the screen. Second round pick coming out of Lincoln Way East of the Rays in '24. He was the highest drafted player to attend college. Same high school, by the way, as Ryan Ritter, former Kentucky shortstop, now up with the Rockies. And this ball is rocketed into right center field. It'll get down for a base hit and extra bases for Tyler Bell. And a 1-out double.
Good at bat for Tyler Bell. Fouls a few off. Gets the fastball just right down the middle with some tail and rips it into right center field. And the Cats off to a good start with a double by Tyler Bell.
So here's Luke Lawrence. 338 with 3 home runs. You mentioned he filled in nicely at short. And he rips the first. This will bring Bell home, and Kentucky strikes on a Luke Lawrence single. It's 1-0 Cats.
You made the comment, Connor Fennell can't blow it by you, so he's going to have to pitch. He's going to have to hit corners and really keep these hitters off balance. So far, Tyler Bell right on that fastball. Luke Lawrence right behind him. Just gets a similar pitch and rips it up the middle. And the Cats get on the board first.
So quite the start for Kentucky against Fennell. Playing Ethan Hindle to pull, and Fennell with a fastball for a strike.
Vanderbilt's used 11 different starters this year, and Connor Fennell's kind of been the staple. 15th start of the year for him. Fastball low 90s like we're talking about. Equal use of his fastball and the chains to left-handed hitters. About 50-50 to both, and more sliders to right-handers.
Hindle drives it to center. Rustin Rigdon to the track. And 2 down. So what is the secret to success for Connor Fennell?
Well, when the plate's 19 inches wide, he's going to be having to hit those corners, the black on both sides of the plate. Can't really get away with an elevated fastball, so he's going to have to throw his off speed and hitters counts 2-0, 3-1, 3-2. He's going to have to be able to drop that change and that slider.
Here's Hudson Brown. And Right back to the mound and Fennel. A run on a couple of hits and one left. Kentucky with a 1-0 lead. Kentucky and Vandy feels like a must-win. 19 consecutive NCAA tournaments for Tim Corbin. 7 players on this Vanderbilt roster were yet to be born the last time Vanderbilt missed the postseason.
So they got that going for him. Tim Corbin, the 2-time national champion, 2014, 2019, did go to the finals against Virginia in 2015. So good run for Tim Corbin, and 19 consecutive postseasons in jeopardy now. They need about 2 or 3 wins here.
Program record in home runs for this team, and Mike Mancini's got 15 of them. He's, with Daniel Jackson, the only 2 in the league with a 15-15 season. They draw a true ace. Jackson Jelkin getting the mound for the Cats today. Jelkin, a junior from Omaha, 6'5", 200, 8-2, 3.59 ERA, a whip just over 1.
What an ideal guy to start a tournament. He's a marathon runner. 8 innings pitched in 3 of his last 5 starts. 2 complete games in the last 3 games. He's a stud. Riding fastball at 96. The changeup in the left to the left-handers. Spinners to the right. The RPMs on that fastball 2,500. The major league average is 2,300. So get some ride on that fastball.
And by the way, the exception to those deep runs was coming out of the bullpen game 1 to preserve a win against Arkansas Thursday of that series. He pitched 2 innings out of the pen. He was slated to be the Saturday starter, but they saw an opportunity to get a win to open the series. They went for it, and now that allows them to come back and get the start here on Tuesday. 128 pitches to start before on the road at Florida. 105 against Tennessee, 107 in his previous start against Vandy when he struck out 9. And Brody Johnston looks at a strike, 1-1.
With the anticipation of a regional start next Thursday or Friday, you want your pitchers on 5 or 6 days rest, so you usually save the aces. But that's what's unusual about today on a Tuesday. Both aces going for these clubs. That shows you how badly they need to win.
We'll talk with Nick Mingione later in this game along with Tim Corbin. I mentioned that Minge was saying how confident he was that their resume is good enough to be in right now. Does starting Jackson Jelkin send a different message?
Well, I just think he knows that they've got to win. And not only that, with Jelkin being able to pitch into the 7th, 8th inning, you know, with the length, he can save some pitching for that group that's going to have to make a deep run.
There's Tyler Bell at short and 1 down. 10th season as Kentucky's head coach. He's taken the Super Regionals into Omaha for the first time ever. They're one of the winningest postseason teams in the SEC over the last handfuls of seasons, and they're one of only 3 in the league this year that has a win against every conference team on their schedule. Georgia and Texas A&M are the others.
Yeah, well, their RPI is good, and with 13 wins in the league, that usually gets them in. But when you've lost 8 of 10 series within the SEC, and 4 of those series against the bottom level of the SEC, which is LSU, South Carolina, Missouri, they've lost all those series. And so that's what's hurting Kentucky right now.
Wouldn't that be reflected, though, in the RPI?
A little bit, yeah. And again, the RPI is good. I mean, Alabama went through a string where they lost 3 series in a row, and their RPI didn't change. Vanderbilt last weekend swept South Carolina, and they didn't move out of the 70s. So a little strange with the mathematics of how that works.
Talking with Mark Etheridge of D1 Baseball earlier today. He's a committee guru, really, and he said he just didn't think Vandy would have the opportunity to gain a ton of RPI points here this week. There's a 4-pitch walk, at least enough to get him into that at-large discussion. Maybe you get into 50s. So for Tim Corbin, for his team, just go out and win the whole darn thing.
Yeah, right. Not 19 seasons where they've made it, and then you get the committee walking around, and they're going to have to face Florida if they win this game, and then Alabama. You blow through those 2 teams, and like you said, I think toward the end they really pay attention to who's going to play on the weekend. If Vanderbilt's sitting right there on the weekend, then I think the committee sees enough to put them in.
Well, here's Braden Holcomb, and Vanderbilt dealt a bad hand on the game at Missouri, which they thought they had a go-ahead home run in the top of the 9th inning in the fog. That got overturned, and it was just another example of how it's been an uphill battle for this Vanderbilt team, dealing with a host of injuries, specifically to its starting pitching. Up and into Holcomb, and that has put Vanderbilt as a whole behind the 8 ball over the course of this season. Inside, 95-mile-an-hour fastball from Jelkin. And Owen Jenkins is going to go have a word with the big right-hander behind in the count 2-0. And Jelkin might be like, hey, bro, why didn't you challenge? We got the ABS.
That's right. 6'5" Jelkin. I mean, he is slinging the ball. Ton of movement on that fastball. And what that means as a hitter is you see it in one spot, but when you go after it, it ends up in a different spot. A lot of balls off the end, a lot of weak outs for Jackson Jelkin.
Well, Nick Mingione's pregame interview with Darren Hedrick over on the Kentucky radio network, he said that we're going to be very limited in how we try to execute the ABS. For the hitters, it's outcome only, and pitchers are not allowed to use the ABS challenge. So it's on Owen Jenkins to execute when Kentucky's in the field. 2-0 to Holcomb. Tipped into the catcher's mitt. And by the way, if you joined us late, we saw that executed nearly flawlessly in game 1 by Mateo Cerna. Here's the 2-1. Chop to the left side, off the bag, Cloud, and on the first, little high, and it bounces off the wall in front of the camera well. So Mancini forced out, and if you're unfamiliar, here's what we're dealing with. First time ever in college baseball, the ABS automatic ball strike challenge system is in play. Nick Mingione's, by the way, coming out to talk with Jeff Head. You get 3 challenges to start the game. Only the batter, pitcher, or catcher can challenge. You keep them, so you start with 3. You can keep them throughout the entire game, and then you get 1 for every extra inning. Okay, force play slide rule. The base runner has to go directly into the base, and his spikes cannot be higher than the knee of the fielder on the lead leg. And if either one of those things happen, then it'll be an inning-ending double play.
Well, let's take another look. And Lawrence, he's in the bag safe, obviously, and coming up. I don't know about that right hand going up into the face, and Lawrence kind of hit him a little bit as he threw. That made the errant throw. Get another look. Out at second base, and then as he comes up, he kind of lifts his arm. I think that's where the problem might be.
By rule, that is a force play slide rule. Therefore, the R1 is out, and also by rule, the batter runner will be ruled out. Therefore,
R1 is the runner, speaking legalese. So Braden Holcomb is out. Or pardon me, that was Mancini who was out as R1, and then the batter runner out And that will close the first inning. Kentucky wins the challenge, 1-0 Cats. On the SEC Network is presented by Regions Bank, the official bank of the SEC. How do you say that? Prevo? Is that right?
Prevo? Yeah, Prevo.
Okay. What do you drive?
Mine's an Allegra.
Well, that sounds fancy.
Not to be confused with the Integra.
Everything has to end in a vowel?
I guess so. I didn't come up with it.
Tom Hart alongside RV driver and owner and NIL pitchman Todd Walker. Will Marcy leads off for Kentucky, and first pitch strike from Connor Fennell. Senior from Raleighwood, hitting a .156, just his 19th start of the season. Well, that was violent. Speaking of, Kentucky's without one of its key players in this one. Braxton Van Cleve collided with Cam Kojal in that Arkansas series and is out. This one off the knee. Yikes. That went a good 95 feet after hitting his kneecap.
Yeah, that's how hard that thing hurts. So now it fits. You hit ball off a shin, it's painful. They're also without Ryan Schwartz. So, Kentucky's just been riddled by injury all year. And Mingione will tell you, back in 2024, they made the first run to Omaha in program history. They had everybody healthy, and the guys they had playing were playing better than they expected in some cases, and that's how you make those type of runs. But this has not been the year for Kentucky.
Marcy lost a good chunk of last season due to a leg injury when he was running the bases. He only played 12 games. This season was over on March 11th. They've rolled through 41 different lineups this season. They have had one of the 51 games where they've had everybody healthy. A game. That's it. That's the list. Swing and a miss and one up in the zone. First strikeout for Connor Fennell.
Well, the fastball up in the zone does work for Connor Fennell. 90-mile-an-hour fastball. You start looking down in the zone on that curveball that he's done a nice job of keeping low with that changeup. Throws it up high, just can't catch up to it.
Carson Hansen rockets one up the middle under the glove of Riker Waite. And a one-out single for the Kentucky right fielder.
Wisconsin-Milwaukee transfer, 2023, 2024. Last year hit .283. With 7 home runs, just rips it right back up the middle. Almost a play by Waite. And what a couple of nice shortstops we have here. Tyler Bell for Kentucky, and then Riker Waite for Vanderbilt.
Here's Owen Jenkins. Kentucky opened the scoring with an RBI single from Luke Lawrence that followed a Tyler Bell double, and now Jenkins out of Lexington Catholic. Played high school Baseball for former big leaguer Scott Downs from the Kentucky standout. Runner goes, throw to second from Reynolds, get kicks into left field, and Hansen's going to pick up an extra 90. Well, that's the chaos that Kentucky wants to bring to the base paths. 103rd stolen base of the season for the Cats. Pardon me, 122nd.
Yeah, and Corbin Reynolds can flat out throw out runners. He's thrown out 15 to 34. That one just bounces a little low, and Carson Hansen goes off of his leg into left field.
His
tough
knees,
error.
yeah, his knee's taking a beating.
Yeah, the lower half, he's been hit twice. And yeah, Riker Ray tries to get it, can't.
Infield in. What about the infield in the second inning with the bottom of the order?
I guess they think it's going to be a tight ball game all the way through.
Kind of figures with the two starters we have on the mound.
Yeah, with those two aces on the mound, yeah, you would try to do that. And then you got Owen Jenkins, who doesn't have a ton of at-bats or a ton of power.
Yeah. Then Jenkins chases it out of the zone for strike 3. 2 Ks now for Fennell.
Great movement by Connor Fennell on all of his pitches. There's nothing straight out of his hand. And if you're Owen Jenkins, you really have to let it travel as deep as you possibly can. What also probably means you don't try to pull it. Just look up the middle and let it go.
Fennell is always ready to go. As Caden Cloud, the 9-hole hitter, stands in. Freshman from Nixa, Missouri. 1-0 to the left side, scooped up by Johnston. And Vanderbilt gets out of the second. Cats have stranded a pair through 2.
Of college baseball, teams holding their breath for a chance to dogpile in America's heartland. It's the NCAA Baseball Selection Show with watch parties all over the country. Let the road to Omaha begin.
It's Monday at noon on ESPN2. It's the best show in the history of television. And Kentucky will hope to hear its name called again. Resume very similar to last year. RPI about the same. Win total in the league the same. Strength of schedule elevated this year.
Yeah.
1-2 victories almost equal. And they weren't even among the last 4 in last year.
Yeah, but lost a few more series this year. And I think to your point last night, do they look at series versus just wins, right? Yeah. Because they didn't get swept.
Been an ABS challenge. See if Owen Jenkins can pull a Mateo Cerna. Got it. It's like these catchers have done it before.
Feels like it.
Logan Johnstone. Strike. And he's done. Well, yeah, it's been a point of discussion throughout the college baseball world. Does it matter if you don't win series? The selection committee does not have that on their rundown.
Versus just the wins. And again, Kentucky lost 8 series out of the 10, but they never got swept. So that's 8 wins that they picked up just by winning 1 game a weekend. And that's why they have the 13, which we all think is kind of the minimum to get in to the field. And they've got that coupled with the RPI at 34.
Well, here's Tommy Gooden. He's got 12 home runs on the season, including a walk-off grand slam against Tennessee. It was lost by Hansen. Now he's got it, I think. He's got the shades on. He's got the eye black down all the way to the jawline. The only thing he could break out there that would be even better would be a Braccabrella.
He looks the part, doesn't he?
Those are the little umbrellas you wear on your head.
Yeah.
Two down and Riker Waite at the plate. .304 average with 7 home runs for the Vandy shortstop. Nothing at 2. Jackson Jelkin is on a roll now.
Yeah, I mean, burying that slider inside under the hands, and that, again, that's tough to get the barrel to. You've got to pull your hands in first and then drop the barrel straight down.
And a fastball ridden into the left field corner, but that one will tail foul.
But you have to pitch to this shift. They got 3 infielders on the right side, and he goes fastball away. And when you have the hitter looking off speed, he is going to be late on the fastball. And that means the shift doesn't work.
Go. He did not, according to Eddie Newsom down the left field line.
Keep going, right. Win again, 5-1. Win again, right. You got it. Here we go.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on him, and 2 Ks here in the second for Kentucky ace Jackson Jelkin. We will see Tyler Bell due up second in the 3rd inning. You can answer out loud. We're talking about it. It's Rally Cap Sunday at 6 Eastern.
No, you can talk for me.
You're just shaking your head no.
All right, so you can relay it.
Okay, it's Rally Cap. They'll break down the softball supers and this SEC tournament. Thought that was your deal. Okay, I got you talking. Top of the order, Jace Tarnish. He is 0 for 1 with a ground out back to the mound and inside.
Leading off the offense, number 37, center fielder, Jace Tarnish. Keep that big, come on, 3-9. What's that big? Come on, big.
Yanked foul.
Keep going, 3-9.
This is the guy you got to keep off the bags. 29 of 31 stolen bases. He can really run.
Yeah, 10th in single season school history. He's from Conestoga High School, home of the Pioneers. And the legendary Coop Evers. And Nick Mingione is out chatting with Jeff Head. What's this discussion about? Oh, he wants to make sure Fennell is engaging the hitter. Connor Fennell and the hitter is therefore already engaged. Fennell will quick pitch.
Yeah.
And you make Connor Fennell mad with this situation, he's only going to go faster.
And as a defense, you love that. The quicker he gets the ball and releases it, the better. I always felt like at this level and higher, you don't make errors because you're not capable. It's just because your mind starts to wander, and that's what Connor Fennell does such a great job of. Get the ball and go. Keeps the defense engaged.
Off the end of the bat, you could see Tarnish there looking away before he engages Fennell. Fennell had an at bat last year against Tennessee where the batter asked for time, stepped away, and he stayed on the mound just like that. It is a one-on-one battle in Connor Fennell's mind. Reynolds tried to bring that one back.
Yeah, that would be one you'd think Fennell would want to challenge for sure.
2-2. Laid off of it. Tarnish started his college career with the Bonnies at St. Bonaventure. 403 average in 46 games last year. Only struck out 27 times on the season. Swing and a miss. And Fennell mixing his speeds well. He's struck out 3 of the last 5 batters he's faced.
Well, in that last third of that ball traveling just moves so much. And it reminds you a little bit of the Greg Maddux effect. The changeup just turning over, you know, and down. And especially when it's on a corner as a hitter, not only do you got to stay back and wait on it, you can't pull that ball. And just the timing is just way off.
Do you feel like the Kentucky hitters are being a little extra in the look to the mound? Bell was looking right behind him before engaging Fennell. And you can't deliver the pitch until the batter engages you.
And then Mingione's coming back out again to argue that same point.
It is not uncommon for a batter to look away. That is how they're taught to do it. I haven't seen Kentucky yet this season, so you tell me, are they being extra with how long they're waiting to look?
Tyler Bell does a point to look the other way and then engage, and it's close, which is crazy because when we went through it 20 years ago, you weren't allowed to look behind you because then the catcher thought you were trying to steal signs. So it was forbidden to look backwards. But that's what they're doing on purpose, just to make sure that the umpire knows that they're engaged.
I want to follow up on that in a second. Here's the 1-1. It was forbidden by rule or unwritten rule?
No, unwritten
you get one
rule.
in the ear hole.
An unwritten rule, you're catching the next one if you look backwards. And so I learned not to even look down. You didn't look down and you didn't look back as a hitter.
So what I find interesting is if you look into your dugout, it's less of a head turn than then pick up the baseball. If you're turned all the way around.
They do it on purpose so that, so the home plate umpire Jeff Head would know when they're in fact engaged with the pitcher. Yeah, he's doing it on purpose.
3-1. And this ball's belted deep right field. Tyler Bell saw all of that one. Seventh home run of the season. .109 off the bat. That one was smoked.
Second rounder out of high school. He's going to be a higher pick this year. Just so impressive, holding down the shortstop position. Only made 3 errors all year defensively, and man, can he swing it from both sides of the plate. Equal power. And the lefty stroke right there rips it into right. Extends the Cats lead to 2.
Jeff Head has called Nick Mingione over. This was initiated by the home plate umpire. And they're having a long discussion up the third base line.
Well, his boy just hit a home run, so I don't know what the argument would be. It's obviously working.
Well, here's what's happening. The Kentucky dugout was chirping a little bit. Head went over to have a word with Mingione and tell his guys to calm down, and Mingione just did the duty by passing off that information to the Kentucky dugout.
About chirping?
I believe that's what it was.
You're not allowed to talk?
Because that was not initiated by Mingione. That was initiated by Head after the home run. So Luke Lawrence has an RBI single. That came in the first. Kentucky with a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, it's interesting to watch these cat hitters. Like they've obviously practiced it and said when we face Connor Fennell, he's going to go the second you look at him. So look the other way until you're ready. And watch Luke Lawrence right here. He'll turn the same way Tyler Bell was doing until he's ready to hit.
You would think there'd be a pretty girl sitting right behind home plate the way they're staring back there.
Must be.
1-2 now to Luke Lawrence.
It feels like a distraction as a hitter you just don't want. Like an added
that's what I was going to
element,
get to.
You know?
Yeah, and the difficulty of then picking him up quickly because he's going to be ready to go. Let's put Lawrence at first. Mingione's going to go check on him.
It seems to be affecting Connor Fennell more than it does the hitters. I mean, Tyler Bell with the home run the time before. Now Luke Lawrence gets hit. They practiced this in the fall, and they've led the nation in hit by pitches in the SEC over the last couple of years.
And now 6th in the country. That's 124th hit batter for Kentucky this year.
Yeah, top 10 in the country in hit by pitches. So they throw wiffle balls at them, and just to get the natural reaction of getting out of the way, just out of your mind. And it was not something we focused on when I was playing. In fact, I was diving and darting to get out of the way.
Well, because you wanted to swing.
Well, I think they all want to swing, but you know, and there's a lot of programs that have that mantra, like we don't move. Like Louisiana Tech uses it with Lane Burroughs, and on down, and Kentucky uses it. We're not moving. You throw it over the plate. That's part of. I mean, throw it toward us. It's part of our territory. But again, you can imagine when something gets thrown at you, your natural reaction is to jump, and they practiced staying where they are.
15th time Lawrence has been plunked this season. That is top 9, tied for 9th, I should say, in the SEC. Get ready for the road to Omaha with SEC Now Monday at 2 Eastern on SEC Network and the ESPN app. Everything you need to know heading into the tournament. You doing that one?
Road to Omaha, the show?
Yeah,
Monday at 2. No, I'll be driving the RV back to Shreveport, Louisiana. That's my travel day.
All right.
That thing turns a 6-hour drive in about a 12-hour day.
Easier to do a crossroad when you're flying a plane, right?
That's right. No kidding. Don't they have autopilot on those things?
Well, Fennell likes to move at a breakneck pace. This half inning has been slowed to a crawl now. Ethan Hindle.
Well, and he better be careful with this guy. Wow, what a weekend. 8 for 13 against Arkansas. Leads the team with 11 home runs.
Yeah, one of those came in the Arkansas series along with a couple of doubles. Got the shift on for him, and Fennell will send a couple over. Lawrence has 13 bags and 17 tries this year. That is a monster weekend for the junior from Delafield, Wisconsin, out of Arrowhead High School. Might be some toughness to Hindle's game. His dad, David, was a rugby player at the University of London, rugby and cricket. And Hindle has picked up those activities in addition to wakeboarding. Nearly clipped his elbow. Hindle's tied for 4th. He's been hit 16 times.
Well, they're going to crowd him, obviously. The right side of the infield is totally open with Gooden holding the runner on. All 3 infielders on the left side.
What about Fennell's pitch mix? What makes his arsenal work?
Because you don't know what's coming in any count. If you can land 3 different pitches on any count as a hitter, you're basically having to guess along. Because I always thought, for me, when I can guess right, that's where the confidence comes from. That's when I know I can be right with my timing, especially if you've seen the pitches before, which is also a deal where the more pitches you see, the more it becomes a hitter's advantage.
Breaking ball pulled foul.
And nothing straight, and so you've got to track it all the way in.
Righties against his off-speed stuff have really struggled. Just 189 against the change and 182 against the slider.
Well, you see how many balls that Hindle has just kind of bounced into the ground. That's how much movement that ball has.
Throw a 4-seamer and a 2-seamer. And a 4-seam. Oh, I thought that was a 4-seamer. Missed up. 2-2. Fouls another one off. Scott Brown, the longtime pitching coach at Vanderbilt, referred to Connor Fennell in the offseason as a 12-year-old demon. And the quote was, he flat out hates hitters. And he pitches like it. He was fantastic to close out 25 season. Vanderbilt ended up with the #1 overall seed in the tournament. To short chance for 2. Mancini makes the turn, and a 6-4-3 double play gets Vandy off the field in the 3rd after the Tyler Bell solo home run. 2-0 Batcats. Well, Tennessee plenty to play for South Carolina. It's been a lost season after Paul Maneri shut it down a few weeks into the season. Monty Lee's team has had a rough go of it. They come in, though, as the 15th seed, and the 16th seed already won a game. So why not Gamecocks? Tennessee, South Carolina next, and OU and LSU. Rustin Rigdon with a swing and a miss on the first offering. Popped him up. Who wants it? Tarnish.
Sun feels like it's going to be a factor today over in right field. I mean, they're looking right in the ball of the sun. Like I said, the rays are one thing, or the shine, but the actual ball of the sun, if that ball gets in there, you can't see it. Actually saw Omar Vizquel used to turn around the other way, face the outfield to be able to catch the ball when he didn't see it.
So here's Colin Barzy. And Barzy jumps on the first. Long run. Tarnish. He won't get there. It goes off the base of the wall. And Colin Barzy standing up at second with an ambush double.
Yeah, it feels like if you're going to get to Jackson Jelkin, you got to get him early, because he gets to 2 strikes, he can bury you. And Colin Barzy gets after that pitch into left center. And that is the first hit for Vanderbilt. And that offense is strong.
So Barzy, who was slated to be the starting catcher but missed time with a shoulder injury, now at second DHing. And here's the freshman catcher Corbin Reynolds. First pitch strike to Reynolds. Freshman from Clarksville. 6 home runs and 28 driven in on the season. Back-to-back breaking balls. Reynolds really struggled in the series against Kentucky. He went 0 for 12 with 4 strikeouts.
You got it, 1-8. Keep going, Ben. Win again, 1-8. You got it, Ben. Win again. Here we go.
Fastball here.
I always like the 2-2 fastball. Again, the hitter has a little bit of doubt. You get to 3-2, the doubt's gone, and then you have a better educated guess on what's coming. So 2-2 right here. Shake a couple times, throw the fastball. Instead, it's a non-competitive, and then you get to 3-2. Now you still don't know what's coming because first base is open, and Jelkin can throw just about anything. But now you've seen that he's going to probably try to get you out with that curveball. I think he just throws it a little higher and tries to land it for a strike right here, the curveball.
Popped him up. Came with the fastball. Bell's got it. 2 down.
Yep, good location on that fastball. Up out of the zone. He's got Corbin Reynolds in swing mode. Just not able to catch up to it.
So here's Brody Johnston. Out of Ottawa, Tennessee, Boyd Buchanan School. He has earned an elite baseball nickname, Brody Barrels. He was the MVP of this tournament last year, had a home run in the title game against Ole Miss. His home run total was the most for a Vanderbilt freshman since Pedro Alvarez in '06. A yard 15 times last year. He is 1 off that pace right now. He went 4 for 12 with a couple of home runs. Pardon me, 4 for 13 against the Cats earlier this season. He also walked 3 times. line, just under the glove of Lawrence. Barzy being waved home. The throw from Tarnish is wide and cut off, and Vanderbilt's on the board as Johnson delivers a hardline drive.
Special player, Brody Johnston, 6'2". SEC tournament MVP last year. Vanderbilt won this tournament, became the #1 overall seed. Freshman all SEC, all defensive teams, just rips it right back up the middle. And Vanderbilt strikes back.
And now the two-hole hitter, Mike Mancini, drew a walk his first time up. Senior from Enwell, New York. Mancini with all conference honors, second team all league and on the all defensive team. It's the first Vanderbilt player since first rounder Jaron Kendall turned in a 15-15 season, 15 home runs and 15 bags. That was in 17. Pops in for a strike. 0-1. And he pulls it to the right side. Lawrence tracks it down. And that gets the Cats off the field. But Tim Corbin's Vanderbilt Commodores come up with a 2-out hit, score their first run of the game. 2-1 Cats. Tom Hart with Todd Walker to please be joined now by Vanderbilt head coach Tim Corbin. Corbin, we were chatting yesterday at practice. Your team knows what's on the line this week. How do you manage them to keep them loose and not worry about pressure?
Well, we talk about it. I think you got to be real when you're in circumstances like this. But at the same time, I told them that you can't play this game tied up, and you can't play this game for any other reason than just yourself. So I think the main thing is just getting to the point where they get inside this game, face a tough pitcher, as you guys can see, and try to make some things happen so you can loosen them up.
Corbs, Connor Fennell's been pretty good outside of Tyler Bell. What have you seen from him?
Yeah, pretty good, Todd. Strikes and compete, but you can tell the energy to the ball's not the same. It's obviously a short start, but we need him. But you know what you're going to get from him. I mean, the spirit and the competitiveness is always there for this kid. So I love being a part of what he's doing.
Corbs, thanks for the time. We appreciate it.
Okay, gang. Thank you.
Connor Fennell is a Tim Corbin type competitor. When Tim Corbin isn't watching baseball, he's watching UFC. He likes to watch that intensity. And Connor Fennell brings it every time he's on the mound. 1-1 now.
Well, Tim Corbin's a highly decorated boxer himself, isn't he?
The catcher challenging the pitch.
And Corbin Reynolds with a challenge. I've never asked. I've never wanted to be punched in the face. Got it right. We've seen
it's been amazing.
A high number of high strikes that the catchers have seen.
Yeah, and when we see it live, it looks high. It looks above the belt. But the challenges have been strikes. You're right.
Well, one of Fennell's super strengths is the ability to deliver a first pitch strike. He was in the 98th percentile last year, and when he gets ahead after 3 pitches, he's in the 99th percentile. The shortstop playing all the way over to the right side, and Riker Waite retires Hudson Brown.
How do you like to write that in your book?
I stick with 6-3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you agree?
No.
What do you
I
write?
like to, well, when I look at it, I like to know where he hit it. So a 4-3 would mean, yeah, he hit it to the second base side. You know, it didn't really matter to me who fielded it.
Marcy has it run in. I mean, the difference could be the difference between going north on Highway 63 or east on I-70. I guess it's as long as you get there, it works.
I have lost some credibility, haven't I?
No, you've earned it. You've earned the respect. Two balls and a strike to Will Marcy, who struck out swinging his first time up. And he got a strike. Marcy now has to battle 2-2. Well, you mentioned it. Nothing straight from Connor Fennell. Like it's either going one way or the other, but it's not going straight.
It's just slinging. And when he's on, he's keeping it low in the zone. You heard Tim Corbin basically say he doesn't have his A stuff right now, but he's a battler and he's out there battling right now. Another strikeout for Connor Fennell, 4th strikeout today. But yeah, these guys are always tough, and that's why, you know, Greg Maddox always said, I didn't want to throw it harder, I want to throw it softer. I didn't want him to swing and miss, I wanted him to put him in play, and that's what Connor Fennell does. He throws it out over the plate with some movement, and he wants them to put it in play because most of them are weak outs.
And here's Carson Hansen. And he went. Connor Fennell is all sorts of fired up. Eddie Newsom had the strike. And a pop-up and a ball carrying deep left field. Holcomb all the way at the wall. It's gone. Opposite field home run, Carson Hansen. On a hot day in Hoover, the ball is carrying.
How many home runs is that today? Counting game one, that's 7 home runs, at least 5 gone the other way, and it's just backspin on the baseball. It's hard to hit a topspin opposite way, and when you hit backspin, it carries, and that ball just flew out of this ballpark.
Breaking ball for a strike to Owen Jenkins. Watch it off the bat. And a fly ball into center field. That'll drop in front of Rigdon. Bottom of the order getting it done. The bottom 3 hitters have combined to go 3 for 5 against Connor Fennell.
And maybe you can use that energy as a pitcher. You know, he's firing himself out there, Connor Fennell, and great effort by Holcomb, just ran out of room. But baseball feels a lot like golf. Like you can't use that energy in your advantage. You've got to stay under control. And I think a lot of times, you know, when you get out of control by, you know, talking to yourself and screaming at yourself, it works negatively. And right there, Carson Hansen takes him deep.
0-1 to Cloud. First-year player out of Nixa High School, and got him! A pickoff to get Jenkins off the base path. But not before Carson Hansen connected for a 378-foot shot.
Just stay back, ball in the outside corner. Not a bad pitch by Connor Fennell, but it gets out of here. And the Cats have a 2-run lead. Vic Mizione coming up next.
Beautiful day for baseball. Tom Hart and Todd Walker, joined by Kentucky head coach Nick Mingill. Minge, we chatted yesterday, and you were very confident that your resume is good enough to be in the postseason already. Where does that confidence come from, given the numbers?
Yeah, we beat the best teams, and in order to be one of the best teams, you got to beat them. And we've certainly done that in a lot of metrics. So in order to do that, you got to beat the best teams, and we have.
Minge, as a player, I used to walk into these tournaments and a little geeked up. How do you keep your team under control for a game like today?
Well, this is one of those things in Kentucky baseball history we haven't done yet. We haven't won one of these, and our team plays with energy. I think you know that. Todd, you do an unbelievable job calling our games. Tom, did you hear the call that Todd had for us early in the year?
No, I've muted Todd on all my social channels, but I'd love for you to tell me about it.
Well, I'll let him do it. If you guys could pull it up. It was unbelievable, like unbelievable call. But yeah, we play with energy. So whether it's this game, the regional, supers, when we're in the College World Series, this is how we play. And our guys are excited to be here. What an awesome event.
Well, you mentioned getting your team to Omaha. It had never been done before in Kentucky history, but over the last couple of years, you have more postseason wins than most teams in the SEC. As Braden Holcomb bats here, and the 0-2 is just off the plate. What does that represent for what you've built in Lexington?
You got to have really good players, Tom. You know that. I've been fortunate enough to coach some really, really good players that care, and they wanted to do things that have never been done before. And you know this, consistency compounds. And as you mentioned, in 23, I thought the 22 team that brought us here, we went super deep into the tournament. I can't remember if we finished 4th or 3rd, or I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was 5th. I don't remember. But that team helped lay the foundation, along with all the other players before. But then in 23, we make it to a super, and we lose to Superman and Paul Skeens. And then the 24 team wins the SEC. And then last year, another, unbelievable team with really a whole new team that took us to a regional final that beat the host seed and number 11 seed in their own regional. So to make it to a regional final after all of that, I was super proud.
Hey, tell us about the decision to go with Jelkin here and how it worked with bringing him out of the bullpen against Arkansas.
Yeah, so you guys obviously know the importance of any win you get in our league, let alone whether it's 13, 14, 15, whatever. But he threw a complete game the Saturday before. And he sent us a text that morning. It's like, hey, I'm good to go if we get an opportunity. And sure enough, it presented itself. And after throwing as many pitches as he did, and anybody that's ever played for me knows that I really care about the safety of them. And I'll lose a game if it means keeping our players healthy. And he certainly did that. And, that win, Tom, we were talking earlier yesterday, that win against Arkansas, a really good team. I mean, that got us our 9th win against teams in the top 30 RPI. That's good for 10 in the country. So yes, was it good to get an SEC win, but to beat some of the best teams in the country, that's what we've done. That's what this team has done. And I continue to just credit Jelk. What an unbelievable, unselfish performance. And another thing it did was it got us a win against another quality opponent. I was looking at some of the stuff that the guys had put out with D1 baseball, some of their projections. And, we're one of 7 teams in the whole country that have a winning record or 500 against the 1 seed, the 2 seeds, the 3 seeds, the 4 seeds. We've beat all the teams that are projected to be in the field, and that win was crucial. It added to that. So, yeah, there was just so many levels. You know this. It's like there's so many metrics and so many levels. And anytime you can get a win, especially against a really good team like Arkansas, it helps.
3-1 to Logan Johnson. Before we let you go, we saw the interaction with Jeff Head. Not about the Connor Fennell quick pitching and getting engaged, but I was more curious, was there a dugout warning given after the home run?
Yes, there was.
Okay.
And listen, this guy, Jeff Head, we have the best umpires. So if he says it's a warning, I believe him. We have the best umpires. This guy's been in the league for over 20-something years. And, Paul does an unbelievable job getting us the best umpires. We have the best conference tournament. We have the best city to host it in. We have the best umpires. We really believe we have the best of everything. And Jeff is certainly one of them.
I'll let you go because you didn't say we had the best announcers, but I'll let that slide.
Hey, Tom, there's just some things that are given. Like if you need it, like you just don't need to say that, right? Like it's just given.
They're understood.
It's like when they meet our team. Some people are, man, you got some great guys, and I'm like, yes, I get to be around them every day. We were at practice yesterday. I'm like, can you believe I get paid to do this?
That's
I get paid to be around you guys and talk to you guys. So thanks, Tom.
Hey, appreciate it.
Yep.
This Nick Mingione took Kentucky to its first ever College World Series appearance a couple of years ago. Tommy Gooden is due up, and the catcher Owen Jenkins is rubbing his left hand. Got hit by a pitch a moment ago.
Nick Mingione's great. Wife Kristen, son Reeves, and that team rallies around his son, goes to the Little League games. Pretty cool.
Saw Reeves get off the bus with him when they got to the ballpark today. Look at that overreach and got him in the forearm. I guess that's better than the wrist. Is that how you would see it?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. You got at least a little bit of muscle right there, but taking a fastball right off the hand directly, off the arm, that's tough. They're trying to see if he has feeling in his left hand.
And so Jenkins is going to stick with it. Well, just to review some of the numbers that Nick Mingione was talking about, no doubt they've beaten just about everybody on their schedule. Every SEC opponent, their RPI 34, projected as a 3 seed. 6-6 versus quad 1 opponents.
And RPI in the 30s and 13 wins in the regular season, the SEC gets you in. Usually that's the case. And again, we talked about earlier, just looking at the course of the 10 series, there's some negativity there, but ultimately I think they've done enough.
So the history shows us that 52% of the teams with 13 league wins get in as an at-large. Now that number leaps to 73% if you get 14 wins. And that is where this game is so valuable. Pulled to the right side and through by Tommy Gooden. 2 on with 1 out. And I think the undersold part of that is that at Vanderbilt it's going to play its way in to an at-large consideration. The worst RPI for an SEC at-large is 48. That was Alabama in 2008. Now all of a sudden, as bubble teams, you're also competing against each other.
Yeah, right.
Yes, you're competing against the rest of the country. But when you start splitting hairs, it could be Vandy versus Kentucky.
Yeah, it definitely depends on who's in front of you. Vanderbilt with 14 regular season wins and Kentucky with 13. We had 13 of the 16 get in last year, and Kentucky with 13 wins last year got in. So that's kind of what they're thinking about, I think, in terms of whether or not they have a chance this year.
A walk and a single, and Riker Waite at the plate for Vanderbilt. You heard Tim Corbin mention, I told our guys you should not be doing this for anyone else but playing for the team and for the want to play. Riker Waite had made a comment that he thought that they had to do it for Corbs to extend the streak to 20, and this one tailing away from Tarnish, but he will get there in time. And that was the genesis of the question when we had Corbs on. Hey, be loose, stay loose. You can't win if you're tight. And I think that was, if not a concern, at least an awareness for Tim Corbin coming into this week.
The beautiful thing about baseball is you play so many baseball games that I think it's easier to get to that point where you just feel loose and comfortable. Clearly, they're not going to the plate thinking, I got to do this for Tim Corbin. That's something to be said before the game. But during the game, I think they're focused on what their job is. And
Rigdon shoots it to left, right at Marcy. A couple of hard hit balls in the 4th inning, but Vanderbilt strands a pair. No one runs, a hit, and 2 left on. How about the long ball in this tournament? Already we are a game and a half in, and we're seeing the ball absolutely fly out of here.
Yeah, 6 home runs in the first game. We've got 2 more in this one, both by Kentucky. Tyler Bell goes deep, and then Carson Hansen goes the other way. And Kentucky holds a 3-1 lead right now. Yeah, the ball's traveling. I mean, the wind's blowing out a little bit, but wow, I mean, the power. 5 opposite field home runs today alone.
Home run for Hansen was his 4th of the season, and first pitch misses low. And our producer Joe McCoy wanted to make sure we got in a Hansen mbop. Huge fan.
Jared Mitchell, who did the 6-7, wouldn't know anything about the Hansen brothers, would he?
No, no.
You know one or the other. You don't know both.
My Hansen brothers are from Slapshot. Cloud with a swing and a miss.
Yeah, there it is.
Cloud from Nixa, Missouri, home to David Webb. Do you know who David Webb is? Give the name of Jason Bourne. Remember, they turned David Webb from Nixa, Missouri into Jason Bourne.
Nixa, Missouri, yeah.
Bourne identity.
There it is.
Population 19,000. I didn't know they had the sign home of Jason Bourne on the. That is fantastic. He's a character, not even a real person. Payoff. Pulled foul. Great job in his truck. Three-time first-team all-conference in high school. He was the 15th rated player out of the state of Missouri. All-state performer baseball and soccer. And ball 4 puts Cloud on to start the 5th inning. First time the leadoff man has reached for Kentucky.
Yeah, they really like Caden Cloud, the freshman. I mean, Hindle has played third base. Cerny has played some third, but Caden Cloud has kind of taken control of that position. Really good defender and learning how to hit.
Here's Tarnish. And he rockets the first one out of play. How are you with your American history?
Not very good. How about you?
Maybe a hair better. Tarnish moves up in the batter's box real quick. Here's the 0-1. Conestoga High School, same high school as Jenny Eisenhower, who was the granddaughter of Richard Nixon and the great-granddaughter of Dwight D. Eisenhower.
It's good to know.
Presidents.
Yes, I do know that.
Okay, good. 67 miles an hour to strike out Tarnish, but it only brings Tyler Bell to the plate, and he has done some damage already.
Yeah, and you asked about Connor Fennell, and that's what makes him good, too, back in the first inning. How about Tyler Bell? Double in the gap to lead to Kentucky's first run, and it comes back around in the 3rd inning. And middle in fastball just rips it out to right field. It's the barrel out. 2 for 2 for Tyler Bell, who we highlighted in the open. This is the guy you got to watch for in this lineup.
Big cut for Bell. And Fennell has dialed it down. Back-to-back breaking balls, 67 and 66.
But that's what I was going to say. So he's throwing under the speed, right? Under the hitter speed. And when you do that, now you've got an adjust as a hitter back to really being patient. And when you're used to facing 95 in this league, somebody that pumps 67 up in there, it's going to be hard to stay back.
Cloud only has 1 bag on the year. Double and a home run for Bell. The home run came off the bat at 109. 68 again.
And that's a great example right there. Tyler Bell, by the swing, obviously he was looking for it and just still wasn't able to put a barrel on it. Just so hard to stay back even when you know it's coming and you've seen it before.
81st pitch for Fennell here in the 5th.
Now's where that fastball works. Didn't
By
do
the
it.
way, he also, if you notice, used every second of the pitch clock. He is a master at using the clock, either going fast or slow, and keeping people off balance. So the runner on, the 2-2 to Bell. Into center. That was at least 3 pitches that at bat that came in under 70 miles an
He
hour.
got away with that one. He hung that one, and Tyler Bell just under it a hair. Was timed up, and had seen a few of those in that at bat. Just gets right under it and hits it to the deepest part of the ballpark.
So here's Luke Lawrence, senior from Evergreen Park, Illinois, out of Brother Rice High School and then Illinois State. He was a tremendous high school hockey player. Runner goes, late throw, and a stolen base for Cloud. And Reynolds had to try from his knees.
Yeah, you still bags on the pitcher, not necessarily catcher, and Caden Cloud gets a good jump and gets in there. Good time to try it. He got thrown out. You don't mind Luke Lawrence leading off the next inning.
Lawrence fouls one back, 0-2. He was MVP of the Chicago Catholic Hockey League in 2021, playing at Brother Rice. 58 career goals. Same high school that produced the great Eddie Olczyk. Hockey history for that squad. Here's the 0-2 to Luke Lawrence. 1-2 now.
Luke Lawrence, 7th in the league in SEC play at .345. Led the team last year in multi-hit games. Had a huge postseason in the SEC tournament, the regional last year.
Fennell already has 1 pickoff that came over at first. That one was close.
You saw Connor Fennell get fired up just for a little bit, and then Carson Hansen hits the home run, and now he's calmed back down.
By the way, what was Minge talking about, this great call that you had in their game?
Well, he's exaggerating, obviously. But when Nick Mingione talks about anything that takes offense, it's the bunts, it's the stolen bases, it's the 2-out base hit, hit by pitch, and the home run. All that happened in a South Carolina game, all within 5 hitters. Everything that Nick Mingione talks about.
Flare to the left side and out of play.
So clearly the adjectives were a little exaggerated, but
No, I don't believe that. Great catch. Great drip.
But we were talking about in that game, like all they need is a stolen base. Well, there he goes, and he stole base. Then Caden Cloud comes up, and we thought out of the 9 spot, if he can hit a home run right here, and he does it.
Another one fought off. If this were banana ball, he'd be out.
Great spot. I mean, right in the right spot. Not too many people sitting over in that area, and he snags it. Very nice.
Blocked by Reynolds. Oh, Reynolds has really grown behind the plate as a true freshman.
Yeah, like you said, Barcy went down with an injury, and they put Reynolds in there, and he's kind of had to learn trial by fire. And with the, the erratic pitching staff they've had this year, they haven't had a ton of consistency. What a nice job that Corbin and Reynolds have done.
Off of his foot. Lawrence will walk it off and knock the shin guard off, or the. What piece of equipment is that? Oh, that was his back pocket oven mitt. My bad.
Yeah,
Yard
it just
sale.
came out. That's right. And now the 2-strike fight.
Lawrence had a great finish to last season. He upped his batting average by 24 points after May 1st. Had a great run in the Clemson Regional. Cats eliminated Clemson. Mentioned Brother Rice. home of John C. Reilly, Kevin Cronin, the lead singer from REO Speedwagon. And Michael Flatley, remember him?
Nope.
Lord of the Dance. Nothing?
I think I've been to too many Lord of the Dances.
I thought you were the Lord of the Dance. Served into left center field. That one will get down for a base hit. Lawrence is going to pick up an RBI as Cloud scores from second. And it's a 2-out double in the second hit of the game for Lawrence.
All these hitters today have done such a nice job of just letting the ball travel, going the other way. That's mostly hitting. You get a good idea, or you get ahead in the count. A lot of times that's when you get the pull. But most of the time, living as a hitter is looking up the middle the other way. Nice job by Luke Lawrence, just letting it travel. He knows it's naturally that fastball is going to tail away from him, and he just rips it into left field. And another run across for the Cats. They're up 4-1.
Luke Lawrence says, I can't fight this feeling anymore.
That's right. Good compact swing. And he didn't stop believing.
That's Journey. I was going REO Speedwagon.
Oh.
But he is the Lord of the Dance.
Oh, we're talking about 80s.
Okay, we're fine.
Okay.
Here's Ethan Hindle. We're going to take it on the run. Hindle 0 for 2. He's got double-digit home runs. One of, well, the only one in his Kentucky order with double-digit home runs. A 4-1 lead for the Cats. Hindle's got an OPS over 1,000. Came in at 1077, but was out on a 6-4-3 double play his last time up. Fennell trying to keep Lawrence close. Lawrence is thinking it's time for me to fly. Is that song in your head now?
Are we going to do that the rest of the game?
No, we're done.
Okay.
Thanks for asking.
I was going to have to start looking up, doing some research here.
Tim Corbin has seen enough. The last few throws to second were enough to buy some time for the bullpen. 91 pitches for Connor Fennell. And Corb's mentioned he just didn't have the same juice behind the fastball, but he battled and turned to his off-speed stuff and turned the velocity down, especially when he got Tyler Bell to fly out 2 batters ago.
And that's part of the deal too. I mean, Connor Fennell pitches with so much energy, and when you're using that during the course of the game, obviously you're going to get tired a little quicker. He got pretty fired up back in the 4th inning, and they're making a move.
5 strikeouts and a walk, and Fennell out after 4 2/3. It's up to the Vanderbilt bullpen to try and stay in this game. 4-1 Cats. This season, and he didn't have his best stuff, but he really battled today, turning the changeup over, going off-speed pitches, and some breaking balls that came in the mid to upper 60s.
4 2/3, did strike out 5, only the 1 walk. It felt like he was out there a little longer, got behind on some hitters. So wasn't an A+ day for Connor Fennell, but he put him in position and gave up the 4 earned runs. But Connor Fennell's day's done, and now they turn to Alex Kranzler.
Junior from Norwood, New Jersey, 6'3", 219. Kranzler will face Hindle with a runner on and 2 out. He's 2-3 through 18 appearances with a 6.64 ERA.
Fastball's up to 95. Drop the changeup on the left-handers, sliders to right-handers. Pretty good against both. About 250 batting average, both lefties and righties, against Alex Kranzler.
Well, when it comes to bubble teams, NC State lost to Duke already today. They're one of the last teams in the D1 projections. This one popped up, and a couple of bubble teams going head-to-head here, and handled by Wade. A run on a hit and a left. Middle of the 5th, 4-1 Cats.
The real fun just getting started.
Run straight for the breakaway.
The celebration is on.
Kentucky and Vandy's second game of this series. Here the SEC teams projected to be in. That is a total of 12, with Kentucky as the lone 3 seed.
13 last year, 12 this year. It's pretty good.
First pitch to Colin Barzey's low and away. He's got a double and the lone run scored for Vandy today. And Jackson Jelkin drops one in for a strike, 1-1.
Man, he's been good. Vanderbilt, they can flat out swing it. They're 4th in run production within the SEC, and Jackson Jelkin going into the 5th has only given up 3 hits.
Huh.
This can't be good.
No. I think he said my back.
That's what I saw. Yeah, it hit him right there. Little twinge. Right there.
And even when he tried to step back up, he didn't like it.
But he's going to stay.
Stick it out.
Rarely see that. Probably a little bit of a spasm that came and went.
2-1 now to Barzy. Shallow center. Bell back, and running catch made by Tarnish. One down.
Yeah, it's good for Kentucky. Keep joking out there. It's done really well. Only 3 strikeouts, but a lot of weak outs. Only the 1 run for Vanderbilt.
Well, nobody's been more of a workhorse than Jelkin. Highest percentage of innings pitched this season in the SEC.
Yeah, we talked about in the open. 8 innings, 3 of his last 5 starts. At least 8. 2 complete games, last 3. And I always felt like, I mean, clearly you have to have the stuff to be the ace, but one of the most important factors is, can you last? Can you go 6, 7, 8 innings?
Catcher challenging the pitch.
Hey, it's a win for Jenkins.
Well, we talked about in the big leagues when they tested this thing out last year in spring training, 52% overturns on challenges. We're higher than that today.
Old foul. Kentucky has lost its opening game of this tournament 3 consecutive appearances. There's the overturn rate this year in Major League Baseball. Catchers, best performers. 1-2. Oh, pardon me, still 0-2. Meanwhile, Vanderbilt has won 9 of its last 10. Lone loss was in the 24 semifinal to Tennessee. Tim Corbin's team has won its opening game 6 consecutive appearances.
Yeah, and won this tournament 2 out of the last 4 years. It's just hard to believe. They got 14 wins now. If they were to win today, that'd be 15 wins in the league. And we recognize that the RPI is high for Vanderbilt in the 70s, but hard to believe they wouldn't make the postseason with that many wins.
We've got the tricep of Corbin Reynolds. So here's what it looks like for Vanderbilt. DSR is at 40. KPI has them at 55. The RPI is inflated. Talking with Corbs about it yesterday, he said, listen, scheduling is the same as it's always been. And he said, please, this is not an excuse. I don't want it to come off as that, but the games that we've scheduled against high-profile teams, we didn't get the ROI on that we thought we'd get. Teams like UC Irvine, which really struggled this year out west. Texas Tech had a down year. And that's how RPI works. You are at the mercy of the teams you expect to do well to continue to perform.
And that's why you kind of start to like the Diamond Sports rating, the DSR, because it factors in the margins of victory that the RPI does not. And, you know, in the DSR for most SEC teams, it's a dramatic difference. And if you start looking at Vanderbilt as a 40, that changes things.
To short, chance for 2. Bell to Lawrence on to first. And the second double play turned by Kentucky in this one as Johnston is retired. Hey, middle infielder, this looked pretty easy.
Pretty easy right up the middle, just a little flip. And Kentucky from Tyler Bell over to Lawrence and the transfer. Yep, that was easy.
2026 SEC Baseball Tournament is presented by Regions Bank, the official bank of the SEC. Bubble machine, baseball flags, and whatever's in that pot. LSU fans are ready to rock.
Jambalaya. Let's go.
You make a good jambalaya. Jeff's microphone was on. Everybody got to hear it. For strike one.
Did he get a hit with that?
Oh, I love it. 0-2 now. So Hudson Brown, what goes in your jambalaya?
I don't make it, I eat it. Rice, meat, seafood, the Holy Trinity, onions, celery, bell peppers. Whatever you can find, you just throw it in there.
You said Holy Trinity, then you named 6. Trinity would be 3.
No. Onions, celery, and bell peppers.
That's the Holy Trinity?
That's the Holy Trinity.
Probably ghost peppers then. Pulled to the right side and against the shift, Mancini. One down. Oh, pardon me, that was Brody Johnston over there.
So you would write that down as a 5-3.
Yeah, listen, it doesn't necessarily make sense to what I do. You know, you keep score so you can, to your point earlier, refer to what happened earlier in the game. And if you're really good and you have a long enough season, you can go back and refer to other games, right? I mean, these teams. But
this didn't come around when you and I were keeping score 20 years ago.
No,
right?
this wasn't in
a
the
thing. It wasn't a thing.
But the other thing is, I found that.
I wonder what that guy's got.
I think he went 5. I think that was definitely a 5-3. And now 1-2. But my point is that I used to have such legible handwriting and take detailed notes, and now it just turned into like a giant scribble.
That only
I've
you
given
can
up.
see. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I can't even see it. Marcy goes in swinging. Bob Carson Hansen went yard last time up.
How about this back in the 4th inning? Carson Hansen 2 for 2 and just lets it travel the pop, the power out of the 7 spot. And that ball travels out. Second home run of the game for the Cats. And they are now up 4-1.
Into center. I bet the Hanson brothers going to be watching later tonight. They're from Tulsa, and Oklahoma will close the day against LSU. If we get there. Fly out to center. 1-2-3 frame.
My dad was the pitch caller, and it was a fake shake. Now, my facial expressions are definitely something that I should be getting beat up on.
Ripped to center field, and if it's high enough, it's gone, and it's long gone.
It definitely helped me, grow up and humble a little bit, especially at 11 years old. But there was growth from it, and it put me where I am today.
And for Mike Mancini and his teammates with Maine Endwell Little League, it certainly helps it all's well that ends well. They won the whole thing in 2016.
That's such a great clip. And I always thought as a hitter, that's the two things I was paying attention to. Probably made him a better hitter is the facial expressions and the front shoulder.
The front shoulder?
Yeah, well, yeah, as a left-handed hitter, if there's a right-handed pitcher and they open up that front shoulder a little early, you know they're coming inside. If they keep it closed, that was a ball away. And so I would watch that front shoulder, but also facial expressions. And when you get like kind of a smirk like that, that would make me think, all right, he's shaking off an off-speed to get to the fastball. But also,
so you like the design of the fake shake?
I do love it. Yeah, but also with a pitcher, you can kind of tell sometimes if they're going to try to grab a little extra. You know, they grit their teeth and they get after it with a fastball. And sometimes, not always, but you can see that type of thing. If their face is relaxed, there's an off speed.
Do you think you had any tells as a hitter?
Probably, but nobody ever
got you out, so it didn't matter.
No, they got me out. They never told me that I did, but I don't know that it matters much as a hitter as much as a pitcher. Like I said, I mean, there's certain things that they do that they have to do. And I think specifically of Roger Clemens with big, broad shoulders. We were in the Metrodome, and he opened up that shoulder a little early, and it just right before he threw the ball, I thought he was coming in, and he did. And that's how I knew, you know, when balls were coming inside on the right-handed pitcher.
Jelkin notches a K with the breaking ball on Mancini. But it's strikeout number 4 for Jackson Jelkin. Volunteers in the house. Got their Smoothie King ready to rock.
They've had a great year, up and down, 28 RPI. They're kind of in the same boat as Ole Miss. Probably not going to be climbing into the top 16 unless they make a big run here, but projected to be a 2 seed.
Here, try this. See if it works. Bet that's the last time Chuck Girolamen's the first guy off the bus. Here's a pitch to Braden Holcomb. Ran inside on him. I never thought of you, and you please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to make a broad assumption here. As an overthinker at the plate, right? It's one thing to read context clues. You learn that as an elite hitter. Popped up, fighting the sun is Hansen, and turquoise glove helps. 2 down.
Anything you can use at this level at college and the higher level, you're going to try, right?
Right, but am I right that you were more of a see-ball, hit-ball?
No.
Like, no?
No, I was educated guess all the way. Like, you know, if I didn't get what I thought I was looking for, I was able to take it. And if you do, that's what I was trying to say. If you do get what you're looking for based on what the pitcher's arsenal is and what you've seen in previous at-bats, then you're more confident in going after that pitch. And then 20 years ago, a 2-0 pitch was a fastball. So you weren't overthinking, you know, hitters counts like you have to do now. There's more walks in the game now. They challenged more hitters back then. But for me, it was all about the educated guess process and what they've got and, you know, the situation and what they might throw me.
Did film work and scouting reports go into that a ton, or back then not so much?
I didn't do a whole lot of film work, but scouting reports were basically reduced to if they had more strikeouts than innings pitched. I knew I need to go earlier in the count.
Logan Johnson goes, no way. No way. And a wry smile from Logan Johnstone. Owen Jenkins will wear it. Yep.
It's great.
2-0.
I think the players are loving this ABS system. We saw Missouri, every time they got it right, it was like celebrating a home run.
10 of 14 have been overturned today. And 9 of those 10 coming from the catcher. Cloud will flip over to the right side. Ouch. Third time through the order for Jackson Jelkin. He is money when he gets to this point in the game. Opponents hitting just 162 against him. Third time through the order. That is the sign of an elite pitcher.
Incredible, and that's kind of coincides with what we were talking about. The more a hitter faces a pitcher, you've seen this stuff, and you've got it in your brain about what it looks like, and so you're more likely to be on time. And that's what makes aces aces, is even when they've got that information, the hitters, a guy like Jackson Jelkin can still get you out. And in your case, what you just said, they're actually better.
Yeah. I mean, even Tarek Skubal, before he got hurt earlier this season, his numbers almost tripled third time through the order. And that's a back-to-back Cy Young Award winner.
Yeah.
Here's Tommy Gooden. Well, Gooden was magnificent coming off the bench with a memorable moment against Tennessee earlier this season. This was a pinch hit appearance with 2 outs, his team down by 3, and 1 swing for Tommy Gooden.
They've had a player for the dramatic, especially in this series. I think they had 2 walk-offs in this series alone. He goes the other way. And a walk-off for Vandy. 31 runs scored in that game. Incredible.
Gave his mom Denise the ball. His parents had flown in from California for their first games of the season.
All 3 games were walk-offs in that Tennessee series. They walked off LSU. They had 5 walk-offs in the first half of the season alone.
So that, by the way, is labeled an ultimate grand slam. Right? You're down 3 and you hit a grand slam to walk it off. There's only been 6 in Major League history. That's how rare that is. Sammy Bird for the Red Legs did it in 1936. I remember Brooks Conrad's for the Braves in 2010, and this ball is launched foul. Brian Bogusevich did it for the Astros in 11, and a handful others, but it just doesn't happen. David Bodie for the Cubs, Daniel Vogelback for the Brewers in 17 and 21. Kid's got a souvenir.
So you dropped a 1930 something, and then the rest of them were like 2010 and beyond?
Well, there's a couple I skipped.
Oh, okay. Did they have fences in 1930?
Actually, 8. Yeah, they had fences, they had lights, they had everything.
Oh, awesome.
The uniforms and everything.
We had uniforms and everything.
Gooden came into this weekend with 7 home runs and 81 SEC at-bats. Sophomore from Thousand Oaks, California, drives it into center field. That lays down for a knock. And he's got 2 hits today.
John Stone with a walk, followed by Tommy Gooden, base hit.
And here's Riker Wade. Sophomore from Queen Creek High School in Arizona. Left high school early, arrived at Vanderbilt at 17 years old, and he barely saw the field last year. Now he's their starting shortstop.
Well, Tim Corbin says he has nonstop energy. 5 hits in his last 3 games, 2 doubles and a home run over the weekend. 7 home runs on the year. He's the tying run.
1-2. Jonathan Vastine was his mentor last year. He followed him around everywhere, turned into his shadow, and inherited the position for the longtime starter. 1-2 is outside, 2-2. He's homered in consecutive SEC series, went yard against Mizzou in that series in Columbia. Deuce is wild. Here's the 2-2 to Wait. Pulled to the right side, and he beats the shift. Around third is Johnstone. He'll score, and Vandy keeps it rolling here in the 6th inning. All with 2 outs, a walk and a pair of singles.
Well, the walk starts it, and you're starting to feel a little like Jackson Jelkin. Relaxing a little bit. Ball outside corner, and Riker Waite able to get the barrel out and pop it back up the middle. And the run Vanderbilt desperately needed. It's getting late. Been sitting on 4-1 since the 3rd inning. Their 2nd run across here in the 6th.
Rustin Rigdon at the plate. 2 on with 2 out. Jack Sams started to get loose. Jelkin approaching 100 pitches. This one, another seeing-eye single around third, Gooden. And Vandy keeps the train rolling. Waite advances all the way to third on the 3rd consecutive single, this one from Rigdon.
After getting the first 2 outs on a strikeout and a flyout, 4 runners have reached base in a row for Vanderbilt. And an offense that's 4th in the league. You know, at some point they're going to wake up. Seems to be happening here in the 6th.
Well, Jelkin has passed the century mark in pitches 5 times this season, including a season high 128 in his last start on the road at Florida. So he's not into the danger zone, although Vandy has been able to slice him up with some paper cuts here in the 6th. Grounded, foul. And Rigdon will return to first. In his last 4 starts, Jelkin has gone 105 pitches, 93, 105, and 128. Remember, on Thursday night, he came out of the bullpen to secure the win against Arkansas. Jason Esposito with some last words of Colin Barzi. Down in the count, 0-1. Three for 6 with runners in scoring position for the Vandy boys today. Barzi gets one into the outfield past Bell. 4 consecutive singles, all of them on the ground, all of them just past the reach of the Kentucky fielders.
Second hit for Barcy, had a double back in the 3rd, and yeah, just finding holes right now, and all on the ground. That's what Jackson Jelkin's going to do. I could get a whole lot of balls in the air against him. He's got the sinker, but 3 balls find holes, and the Vanderbilt Commodores have jumped back in this game, now tied it up at 4.
And that'll be the end of the line for Jelkin. 100 pitches for the Kentucky ace. And death by 4 cuts here in the 6th inning. 4 consecutive singles with a walk. We're tied at 4. Kentucky dugout after another heavy workload, 100 pitches over 5 2/3. You don't like to see that, but hopefully that's just normal fatigue. 4 consecutive singles with 2 outs for Vandy.
Yeah, first the walk, then Tommy Gooden finds it up the hole off the end of the bat, then almost an identical hit by Riker Waite off the end of the bat, back up the middle. And that scores the 3rd run for the Commodores. And then Colin Barcy finds a hole on the left side. 4th run across for the Doors. And they have come back in a big way here in the bottom of the 6th. Scoring 3, turns it over to Jack Sams, making his 9th appearance. Turn it over to the freshman. Low 90s fastball. Really good against the left-handed hitters. He's going to have to face 2 right-handed hitters in a row here. 143 against lefties. And predominantly fastball, 80%. We'll drop the slider, the cutter on the right-handers. A little more change-ups to the lefties.
And a first pitch fastball for his strike. He's from Lexington Catholic, was the 11th region pitcher of the year last year, and 2nd team All-State. Back-to-back fastballs, 0-2 to Corbin Reynolds. And this one's hit to the left side, cut off by Cloud, and dropped over first base by Brown. A run will come home, and Vandy has the lead. The throw was just a hair wide, and Brown couldn't get leather on it, or enough leather.
Yeah, sometimes the angle of the stretch matters, and I think Hudson Brown went into the field a little too much. Caden Cloud takes a look, and that probably cost him, and stretched out about as much as he could over at first base. And I think the look distracted him just enough to make the throw offline. Another run across to the Doors. What started off as 2 outs and nobody on, all of a sudden 6 guys in a row reach base and catch you quickly.
Just the 6th error of the season committed by Caden Cloud, and Brody Johnson is the 9th batter of the inning for Vanderbilt. You said fastball slider for Sams?
Sliders for right-handers and cutters, and then more changeups to left.
Sams worked an inning and 2/3 5 days ago against Arkansas, allowed 1 run on a hit. And his ERA jumped from .71 to 1.26 in 1 outing.
Yeah, it's only a low 90s fastball, but he uses it.
He only made 3 appearances before April 10th. 2-0. And misses with that fastball. Had Reynolds in the hole 0-2 after a couple of fastballs before he reached on the Caden Cloud error. Johnson looks at a strike, 3-1. And there's ball 4, and the bases are loaded for Mike Mancini. He of the Little League smirk, and started this inning with a swing and a miss. They'll get everybody together to chat to try to stop the room from spinning. Go behind the scenes with SEC Inside. A look at the SEC baseball tournament next Tuesday, 7 Eastern on SEC Network and the ESPN app. Mancini 0 for 2, ground out and a strikeout to go with a walk. After Mancini, it's Holcomb. In for a strike. Mancini 3 for 7 with the bases loaded this year. He went. 0-2.
Good start, good spot for the doors right here. Mike Mancini riding an 8-game heater, 11 hits in his last 8. Hasn't had a hit today yet.
The 1-2. Wanted it up, got him to pop it up, but this one will get out of play. Vandy has been to the postseason 19 consecutive years, or seasons, I should say. It's the longest streak. Active streak in college baseball. They need to string together some wins here this week to keep it going. Another one fought off. And it becomes a math problem to try to climb the RPI. Season, that streak started in 06. 7 of these players on the roster weren't even born yet when the streak began. The 1-2. Belted to center field. Tarnish back, still running. It's got room, and he makes the catch to close the frame. But Vanderbilt sends 10 to the plate. Death by 1,000 cuts in the 6th inning. Walk, single, 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 error, walk. And the reactions tell the story for the Vandy boys. Gamecocks are in the house. This will be the 6th time that South Carolina and Tennessee meet in the SEC tournament. Last time coming in 2005, if that's a year. Maybe some people call it 2005. But at this point, my reading comprehension is not good. 4-run 6th inning for Vanderbilt on a smoking hot day. It is a great day for Dippin' Dots. That kid will grow into the hat. He can get another. Oh, that's not Dippin' Dots. Is that a snow cone? Is it like
digging, yeah.
Italian ice or something?
It's got to be melted by now, right? He's working hard at that thing.
Jenkins is due up. They're going to have a meeting before Jenkins comes to the plate. And after Jenkins, it'll be Caden Cloud. Just a hair low to Jenkins. Kentucky through and through.
The catcher challenging pitch.
Here we go. Corbin Reynolds on it. And Corbin Reynolds was right. Jenkins' sister Lane Played volleyball at Kentucky. Both of his parents graduated from UK Med School. And he's got the tall task as a freshman of replacing an all-timer. Evan Burks, 3 straight regional teams, 2 supers, a College World Series, SEC championship, 2-time Mr. Wildcat. And 1 down with Caden Cloud coming up. I told you earlier that Caden Cloud was from Nixa, Missouri. Do you know what they celebrated last weekend? It's been going since 1957, annual Sucker Day. What do you think that refers to, Sucker Day?
Sucker Day, it has to be a lollipop, right?
That's your guess?
Yeah.
No, it's the sucker fish.
Okay.
You were so close. Finis Gold was a barber back in the 50s, and he decided that people in Nixa need an excuse to go fishing and go grabbing for big old suckers. So Suckerfish Festival has grown. They had 20,000 people on Main Street this weekend and a Friday night parade. You could get down south fried fish, hillbilly kettle corn. They had a beer garden going. They still fry the suckerfish in the same cast iron pots they used back in the 50s.
Have you had a suckerfish?
Not that I'm aware of.
Me either.
But they say it tastes like catfish, so somebody may have snuck one by me at some point.
Suckerfish. I don't think I've ever even seen that on a menu anywhere.
Well, now you know you can ask for it.
That's right.
Your next trip to Nixa, when you're supposed to fly into Columbia, but you end up in Springfield, you're going to probably drive right past Nixa, Missouri.
Great chance if I'm in Missouri, yeah, I'll end there by accident.
Great chance if you're in Missouri, you're getting lost. Second strikeout for Kranzler. And there's 2 down. Back to the top of the order.
Kranzler's been really good. Attacking his own fastball slider. Holding Kentucky down at a 4-1 lead.
6 straight retired by Kranzler. Rolling away to Tarnish, who's 0 for 3. And he lifts it into right center field. His counterpart Rigdon takes care of it. Timely hitting for Vanderbilt in the 6th. Fantastic relief pitching for Kranzler since the 5th. 5-4 Vandy boys with the lead. Todd, how would you track this game?
How would I track it?
Well, I thought it was going to be titled Game Summary, and I was going to ask you to summarize it. I got ahead of myself.
Yeah, well, they summarized the game. 7 hits for each. 5-4, Vanderbilt with the lead. Anything anybody can read right there in front of you. Error for both. That
be careful. They're going to tell
game.
us that we don't need to show up tomorrow. We just keep saying,
start flashing the graphics. Yeah.
AI is going to take our job anyway. Here's Braden Holcomb. He is 0 for 3. 14 home runs and 52 driven in for Holcomb, top 5 in the league in RBI. How about that control? Clint Fagan says he didn't go. Muscled into shallow left. Back is Bell. He can't reach it. And Holcomb has it drop in. Another single. So if you add the 6th and the 7th going down in order, Johnston with a walk. Mancini is the only one that hasn't reached. Holcomb a single. Johnstone with a walk. Gooden a single. Waite a single. Rigdon a single. Barnesy a single. Reynolds reaches on an error. And they are finding green grass.
Yeah, gets jammed. 6'5", 245. Braden Holcomb just finds a spot in left field. Huge jump in his average from last year. Hit 275 last year, up to 350, above 350 this year. And well, he found something in his swing, and man, it's working. 18 doubles.
Logan Johnstone at the plate, transferred in from Washington State. My favorite quote from Tim Corbin from earlier this season: Johnstone missed the game against Indiana State due to food poisoning. Corbs was asked about it, and he said, and I quote, "If you pay for bad food, you get bad food, and then you leak."
Well, he's from Nashville, or lives in Nashville, so that's unfair. They don't have bad food there.
Well, Logan found it. Two years at Washington State, first team Mountain West Conference, had an OPS over 1,000, more walks than Ks. Started his college career at Gonzaga. That pitch is up 2-2. Two-run home run with 2 out in the 9th against LSU earlier this year. Vandy has gotten some clutch hitting in this one as well. 5 for 10 with 4 runs with 2 outs today. Do you believe in the clutch gene when it comes to hitting?
Yeah, I think it correlates with just confidence, right? I mean, you know, you get in a position where everything starts to speed up and you got people screaming at you and yelling at you, and to be able to calm your heart rate in those moments. Is it a gene? I don't know, but it can be learned.
They off to Johnstone. Swing and a miss. 91 up in the zone. I asked Chipper about that one day, and he goes, well, I don't know. Feel like if you're a good hitter in the 2nd, you're a good hitter in the 9th.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's different spots. I've certainly been in situations in the 9th that feel a lot different than the 2nd inning. I promise you that. And that's why opening days were always tough for me too, because the ballpark's packed, and you got a lot of nerves, and you're wanting to do well so badly that, you know, you end up having this energy that you can't even use the other 161 games of the year.
Hold on, I thought opening day was tough for you because you got stuck in a traffic jam coming in from Castle Rock.
That was one year. Yeah, that was one year.
You won a traffic jam every year?
It wasn't tough. I ended up having a pretty decent game. That was against the Cardinals. But in general, the way you feel, I mean, certainly there were times when, you know, that's why the closers are so special.
Yeah.
You know, because you get put in a game where you got to hold a 1-run lead, and the adrenaline and everything goes on with what we see, you know, with the music and everything else, and to be able to control that and still be good or great, in Mariano Rivera's case, for example, then that's a special gene.
Do you think when Mariano Rivera walks into any room they play Enter Sandman?
I'm sure he makes them do it, yeah.
2 for 3 today for Tommy Gooden. He's earned more playing time over first late in the season. Got jammed on this. Cloud goes to 2nd for 1. Lawrence a little late trying to get it across, but they get the lead runner Holcomb.
Nice job by Cloud, the freshman, just staying enough under control to make an accurate throw. He can't make the entire play happen just on that slow roller. And a lot of times you'll see an infielder try to hurry that up. That ball ends up in the outfield. So Caden Cloud stays under control, knows to get the lead runner. That's always the case with double play situations. You want to get the first out and let the rest take care of itself. Ball wasn't hit hard enough to turn that double play.
Here's Riker Waite. First pitch low and in.
Keep going, right? Find a way, 5-1. Go right. Dig right. Keep fighting, right? Keep fighting, 5-1. Keep out on right. You got it right. Find a way, 5-1. Find a way.
Waite with an RBI single his last time up.
Go right. Come on, right.
1-2. I got a challenge.
Go, Dad.
Good on Riker Waite. Flips it from 1-2 to 2-1.
It's really impressive how accurate these guys on the challenges are. And they know that a pitch is one way or the other.
Now 2-2. Sam's replaced Jelkin after Jelkin hit the century mark after 5 2/3. Hold foul.
You know, and we were talking earlier about tells from a pitcher. I'm trying to watch Jack Sams. He's grunting when he's throwing the 90-mile-an-hour fastball. And you're trying to see if there's any kind of fluctuation in that when he throws his off speed.
Is that grunt again? Can you pick up on a grunt if it doesn't happen?
We can hear it all the way up here in the booth, so I'm sure from the hitter's box you can hear it.
You're a good listener as
sure.
much as you were vision as a hitter?
Sure, if you can pick up on that.
Popped him up into left field. Marcy. We've got 7 complete. To the 8th we go. 5-4 Vandy. 2026 SEC Baseball Tournament on the SEC Network is presented by Regions Bank, the official bank of the SEC. Tom Hart, Todd Walker, our fantastic crew with you here at the Hoover Met, where it is scorching hot, likely for the first time this summer. It's been sensational weather throughout the South mainly. The winner of this one gets number 5 Florida tomorrow in Game 2. 4th spot in the 6th, the difference in this one. And here's Tyler Bell leading off the 8th inning. Now, correct me. You said that you didn't like the emotion of playing on opening day, or you did?
It wasn't comfortable.
Wasn't comfortable.
But I didn't.
You did not
dislike
like
it.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is packed house, all the excitement and energy of day one, and then day 2 is like somebody let the air out of the balloon. You know. But I like that better because now it became more relaxed.
Well, our crack staff put together the numbers. Did you know over 9 opening days in the major leagues, you hit 484 with an OPS of 1368 and a couple of home runs?
On opening day?
On opening days, yeah.
I paid for it with the nervous energy. I'm just saying it wasn't comfortable. I didn't say I couldn't do it. But,
yeah, sure.
But I just couldn't sleep the night before. You're excited, you know, you got all that going on. And I think there are free bleeders in there too. I get jammed out of my mind, and so some of those hits count too.
Here's Luke Lawrence now. He's reached 53 of his last 55 games, including a 2-for-2 tonight with a couple of ribbies. We won't look them up, I promise. But do you think your numbers were better on opening day or the second game of the season, where, to your point, fewer people in the stands, fewer media around, a little less energy?
No, that was the deal. Like, as a hitter in general, like in games, the more energy and focus you put into it, obviously the better you were going to be, but it was just uncomfortable, you know, and so that's why we give away at bats, because you want to relax. It's the human element involved in, you know, your 5th at bat of a game when the game's out of hand.
Lawrence caught looking. What if I told you Game 2 of the season for 9 years you hit 194?
Maybe I should have given myself a heart attack more often. Yeah. Thank you.
3rd strikeout for Alex Kranzler.
You build me up and then cut me down.
He is pounding the zone to start these at bats. 8 out of 9 first pitch strikes. And Ethan Hindle up. Talk about what's at stake for Vandy. They've got to win, continue to stack wins, improve the RPI. They may need to win this whole thing to make it in. That would be an automatic berth. Maybe they make it to the weekend. The committee's impressed by the run for Tim Corbin's squad. For Kentucky, Nick Mingione says, we are in. I am comfortable. Whether the committee thinks that way or not will probably, from a Kentucky perspective, if they can't win today, depend on if there's some bid thieves out there from lower level conferences.
Yeah, for Vanderbilt it'd be real interesting, because it's kind of unusual to have 14 wins in the best conference in college baseball and have an RPI in the 70s. If they get through Florida tomorrow and then they get through Alabama, that's not all of a sudden going to rip their RPI into the 30s.
Right.
But now you've got 16 wins, 17 wins in the conference, and you don't make it into the postseason. That'd be hard to believe.
Swing and a miss. Kranzler is on fire right now. He is perfect out of the Vanderbilt bullpen. He has retired all 10 batters he faced, including getting Hindle.
Alex Kranzler, let's go. The spinner on the outside corner, he's feeling it, man. 4 strikeouts.
What's up, guys? Hey, hello, welcome to Right Field. We're just kind of killing some time before our next show, which will come after the game. We'll have the winners on set with us. We'll look forward to Tennessee and South Carolina, chat with both head coaches, but we're just learning all the great places to just sit and watch ball out here.
I could spend a lot of time. I can tell you that right now, especially the whole night game. Just prop me up right here.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Jared and I are critiquing outfielders. We're right there. I mean, we're like 15 yards from being back in the game.
Absolutely. This is sweet, guys. All right, we'll see you after the game.
Try not to work too hard, okay? I mean, chill. Just relax. Carson Hansen's going to turn around and there you go, catch some rays.
All they need is a little Dippin' Dots and then rock and roll.
Inside to Russ and Rigdon. By the way, Mississippi State has just announced its starter for tomorrow. They'll open play with Missouri to get things started. They're going to go with their ace, Tomas Valinkas. Okay. Does that surprise you?
Well, like I mentioned, they got Ryan McPherson back, although he's not an ace situation right now, but they do have an extra arm. And no, not really. I mean, you know, Mississippi State is in a position where they're trying to solidify their top 16, and so they're trying to make sure that they get in and get to host in Starkville next week.
Rigdon is 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Bangs it right back up the box. The Vanderbilt offense was in hibernation the first 5 innings. It has really come alive since then.
Yeah, 9 hits and the 5 runs, leadoff base hit. In the bottom of the order, Rustin Rigdon. Colin Barcy coming up has had 2 hits. Got a base hit his last at bat.
Nine hits, 8 of them singles for a team that set the franchise record in home runs.
Yeah.
Here's Colin Barcy.
Kind of what Nick Mingione says on the other side, death by 1,000 cuts, and you know they can win a lot of different ways.
I'm gonna look way too deep into this. All right, so you can tell me I'm an idiot. But Tim Corbin on the other side talked about his team playing loose and not trying too hard. 107 home runs in the season, 9th in the country, program record. I know Jelkin's stuff induces a lot of ground balls, but I think there's room to make the assumption that this is a Vanderbilt team that's not over swinging, that's not trying too hard.
100%. And if you were, then you get a lot of balls off the end, and then you get the weak ground balls. They found holes, which means they're catching barrels. And even though they're low, they're getting a lot of base hits that way. And you're right. I mean, just being able to go the opposite direction, that takes a lot of patience and calmness. And they're playing loose. And like I said, I mean, it's hard not to in baseball because you play so many games that it's hard to even, you know, really lock down on some of these games where you have too much energy.
Runner goes, pitches high, and didn't get him. That was a good one to throw on for Owen Jenkins, but Rigdon picks up his 14th stolen base of the year.
Yeah, good spot to do it, high, and nice throw. He just got a great jump. Rustin Rigdon into second base, and Barcy, we might see some sort of bunt. No, they're going. He's got 2 strikes. Can't do that. Nice slide on the outside part of the plate. You're always, or the bag, you're always going where you see the run, throw coming from. And Rustin Rigdon knew it was coming on the inside and dove outside on the bag. Much more difficult to make the tag.
There he goes, breaking for third. Pitches high, sidearm throw, gets into left field. Here comes Rigdon. The throw from Bell rolls home, and Vandy used the page from Kentucky's playbook to push another run across.
Yeah, they really did, and that's showing a little inexperience from Owen Jenkins. Tries to clear himself of the hitter, and if you got to throw right through that hitter, just do it. But don't clear yourself. He doesn't get his feet set. He just throws a sinker to third base, and that allows the Doors to score the 6th run of the game.
So an insurance run for Vandy, a hustle for Rigdon, 2 stolen bases, and he comes home on the 6th error of the season, charged to Owen Jenkins. And Barcy ends up going down swinging at the high fastball anyway.
Well, he stole a run, and 9-0 Corbin Reynolds coming up. Jack Sams has been really good out of the bullpen too.
drive opposite way. Base hit for Corbin Reynolds.
Another busted shift. Corbin Reynolds just goes the other direction. They had 3 infielders on the left side and hits it where it's pitched, and now they turn the lineup over. It'll be difficult running through these guys for the 4th time or 5th time.
Vandy has won 6 consecutive opening games in this tournament. They've won 2 of the last 3. And they're in position here. This is a team that, when leading after 8 innings, is 17-1 on the season. They know what's on the line. They've got to continue to win to get Tim Corbin his 20th consecutive postseason appearance. Nick Mingione will go back to the bullpen. That'll be the end of the line for Jack Sams, with the top of the order coming up for Vandy. Brown trying to help out his teammate Jenkins after the missed throw allowed the insurance run to cross for Vandy. And it will be Brown to lead off the 9th when we get there for the Cats, but they still haven't solved Alex Kranzler. So he's clean. And we play on. Adcock out of the Kentucky bullpen. So now Adcock out of the bullpen for Kentucky. Senior from Pinckneyville, Illinois, making his 22nd appearance. He is 4-1 with a 4.45 ERA. 41 Ks in 30 1/3 innings.
One of 5 pitchers on this Kentucky staff with 20+ appearances out of the bullpen. Primary pitch is the curveball. He will throw that most of the time, and he works off that with his fastball. Fastball 90 to 93. Really good against the left-handed hitters. Only hit 217 against.
Deal with the right-hander Johnson and then Mancini from the left side. Now Adcock threw 4 days ago against Arkansas. Worked 2 innings, shutout baseball. And a first pitch in for a strike. You okay? Just doing some paperwork?
Yeah, I've been handed the 6th lineup sheet for the next game that we're not even working.
Well, maybe you can go back to the RV and keep score from the couch.
That's my plan, to watch 18 more innings of baseball after we've already done 2 games.
How's the air conditioning work out there?
Very, very inconsistent. Not great. Not great.
0-2. Belted deep left field. Back is Marcy. It is way gone. Into the Kentucky bullpen. Johnson's 15th of the year. And Vandy has put its hands around the neck of this game with a 3-run 8th inning.
Well, Brody Johnston seems to show up at this tournament. He was the MVP last year as a freshman, now a sophomore. And he crushed that ball. Just a hanging spinner. And he knew it right when he hit it. Left field. And boom is the right way to say it.
Who yelled boom?
I think that was you.
They were all over it.
And Kentucky with a 4-1 lead at one point, giving up 7 unanswered.
Another crooked inning. 4 in the 6th, 3 so far here in the 8th. Mancini hitless. And Sing-I single again splits the middle infielders.
That'll extend his hit streak to 9 games.
And more wiggle room now for Alex Kranzler. There is nobody in action in the Vanderbilt bullpen. He followed Connor Fennell and has not allowed a base run. He's retired all 10 batters he's faced after the Luke Lawrence double in the 5th inning. Braden Holcomb is 1 for 4. Runner on the move. Pitch is low and away. Throw to second. Not in time. And a stolen base for Mancini, who is now 20 for 21.
Yeah, and that's the only reason he made it, because that was a great transfer. Quick pitch, and Owen Jenkins throws a bullet down to second base, but just not in time. Mike Mancini, 20 of 21 this year. Take it again. And throw up the line a little bit, but he makes it. And after what just happened a little while ago with the right-handed hitter, I'd be shocked if Mancini doesn't try to steal third.
Here's a challenge. Called a ball, confirmed a ball. 2-0.
So as the second base runner, you've got a kind of a side eye at the shortstop. So Tim Corbin's trying to help Mancini out on the second baseman as to whether or not he's holding him on.
What is that communication like from Corbs? Is it simple back?
Yeah, back or there, or, you know, close, or, you know, just a one word. And then there's also probably a one-word verbal where the second baseman goes back into position, and if there's any delay, then Mancini can take off. But they're watching him pretty close.
Three and 0. And another ABS challenge.
I mean, that's as close as it gets, right? Nicked it.
That's why you and I don't shave anymore. It's kind of need a pencil to try and cut the bleeding. Swing and a miss, 2-2. It's not luck for Vanderbilt, but baseball players are superstitious, and that's Bailey Provo, who's their equipment manager. And a few years ago, he found good luck by eating the same meal at the food court that's attached to the hotel. And I ran into Bailey yesterday, and I stopped and I looked at him and I said, well, and without even talking about the Chinese meal that he's been eating for years, he said, yes, of course, it's my duty.
It's my duty.
And so a come from behind lead for Vanderbilt, and Bailey's going to have to go right back there tomorrow. The challenge is for Vanderbilt, if they play until Sunday, they make it to the championship game, he's going to have to order 2 of them on Saturday because that restaurant is closed on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Thinking ahead, yeah. Chinese food.
It's been sesame orange and General Tso's chicken.
Yeah, you got to make sure you get that right the first time if you're going to continue to have to eat that every day.
Or you're going to leak. Payoff upstairs. There's ball 4 to Holcomb. Bailey, by the way, motivated. He has dropped a ton of weight. Good job, Bailey. Now, this week's going to be a bad one for him because he's going to take in all that sodium all week.
I was going to say, how do you do that with that type of superstition?
This 1 week a year. Oh, Coleman, former door behind him on this staff. And now Logan Johnstone to the plate with 2 on. And only 1 out in the Vandy half of the 9th and the first pitch, half of the 8th and the first pitch strike to Johnstone. Popped out of play. By the way, I think I know why Bailey comes upon it, and I think he comes upon it honestly. He's the oldest of 10 children. So when you have that many siblings around the table, you've got to attack the food, or somebody else is going to get to it. Johnson goes down on strikes. First K for now Adcock. Whatever it takes, right? Were you superstitious?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I would put 1 sunflower seed in my mouth and go up to the plate with it. So if it worked out, I kept it in. If it didn't, spit it out.
Only 1.
Only 1.
Here's Tommy Gooden. Did you ever spit it out in the middle of the at-bat like it just didn't feel right? You're like, this
just
is
gave
not,
up.
This is
not going well. No. Always kept it in. And then the usual stuff, like you don't step on the lines. Don't run over the mound, you know.
I feel like not stepping
normal.
on the lines is just totally normal. Like if you kick the chalk, you're a psycho.
Yeah.
You're just tempting fate, right?
Yeah, but there's something, you know, that made me feel like, and I'm sure there's everybody else too, yeah, like you just don't do that.
No, it's like stepping on a crack. Don't want to break your mama's back. Swing and a miss for Gooden. How about Brody Johnson providing some insurance for Vanderbilt?
How about Brody? Just crashed that ball into left field. And the Doors bring a 4-run lead into the top of the 9th. Last chance for their season, maybe.
Chance for the Cats, a single elimination tournament. They are on the ropes here, down 8-4 as we head to the 9th inning. 7 unanswered for Vanderbilt. And what a job Alex Kranzler has done. He's one shy off of his 11th straight batter retired. Hudson Brown hitless today. And he popped it up. Johnson calls off nobody and makes the catch. 1 down.
Wow.
A little more adventurous than it should have been, huh?
Yeah. Sounded real casual, but man, that thing was spinning back into the field of play, and got so good over there. Brody Johnston.
Here's Will Marcy. 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. That is 8 Ks over his last 3 games. It's 1-2. My buddy Ryan Lemon pulling for the Cats to find a miracle here late. And that one's low. 2-2. Nick Mingione thinks they are in regardless, but a win, which would be a near miracle at this point, would help everybody in Kentucky Blues sleep a little better tonight and heading into Selection Monday. Payoff pitch into the seats on the right side. South Carolina and Tennessee next. And then LSU playing on the opening day of the tournament. They get Oklahoma. Payoff inside, ball 4. Kentucky's got a man on with 1 out, and it's a first base runner allowed by Kranzler. It's a first base runner for the Cats since the 5th, or is it? Because Corbin Reynolds has turned into ABS, and ABS was right. Specifically, Jeff Head was right.
Tough guy to walk. Will Marcy struck out all 3 times up until that plate appearance and draws the 1 out walk. Still down by 4. A lot of work to do.
Here's Carson Hansen, 2 for 3 with a solo home run. One and 1. Two years ago, Kentucky finished its season with its first ever trip to Omaha. That one's out of play. School record 46 wins, 22 conference wins, and school record for the highest ranking. They rose to number 2 in the nation. And Nick Mingione in 10 seasons, 3 supers, the CWS, 4 NCAA tournaments, and numbers very similar to last year when they got in with room to spare. They'll be at the mercy of the bid thieves for the rest of the week. A little early to identify where that may come from, but that'll bubble to the surface as the week progresses. 1-2, up and in. It's a Kentucky team that is 5-4 versus the RPI top 10. They have the 10th most wins against the RPI top 30 with 9 of them. He didn't go.
Yeah, that's a situation Alex Kranzler's doing a little too much dancing. I would think, you know, you challenge 2-2, let's get after it. You're up by 4. can't afford to walk yet another guy in this inning, even though it's the bottom of the lineup.
Well, Hansen has a couple of hits, including the home run. To the right of the mound. Kranzler will take it most of the way himself. 2 down. Owen Jenkins with a runner in scoring position and 2 down, and Kentucky down to its last out.
The catcher, number 29, Owen Jenkins.
First pitch strike. He has delivered a first pitch strike to 12 of 14. Into right center field. That one will get down. Around third is Marcy, and he scores to make it a 3-run game. Kentucky not done yet.
Freshman delivers base hit into right center field. 5 runs across for the Cats. Nice compact swing. I think we've seen more, not only home runs, but base hits the other direction than we have pull. Just another example there. Let the ball travel, hitting it the other way, catch and barrel. And Caden Cloud with a chance to extend this inning and possibly the season for the Cats.
50 pitches in for Kranzler. First pitch strike to Cloud. For 2 with a walk. 2 different relievers getting loose in the Vandy pen. They'd love not to have to go to them, and now the Cats down to their last strike. Could be a 2-pitcher game for Vandy if Kranzler can finish this off. Fennell went 4 2/3 to start. Here's the 0-2 to Caden Cloud. Laid off. Defensive indifference puts Jenkins at second. Not much urgency in the Vanderbilt bullpen, and for good reason. Kranzler strike away. Winner of this one gets 5-seed Florida tomorrow in the second game of the morning session, or afternoon session, I suppose. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And Kranzler puts together sensational relief outing. He gets the win to go to 3-3. And Tim Corbin's team will play on. Their 7th consecutive win in the SEC tournament opener.
Connor Fennell was good to start this game, but Alex Kranzler was better. Retired 13 of the last 14 hitters out of the bullpen. Vanderbilt just seems to play well at this time of the year. Has won this tournament 2 out of the last 4 years. Kentucky goes back and crosses their fingers. But as for the Commodores, they've got Florida coming up. And again, been very good in this tournament. And it's going to be a good one tomorrow.
8-5 the final. And here's a look at the bracket. Still to come tonight, Tennessee and South Carolina. That is next, followed by Oklahoma and LSU. Second round morning session is set. Mizzou and State, followed by Florida and Vandy. And Kentucky will head back to the Bluegrass and wait for their fate on Selection Monday. So coming up next, 15-seed South Carolina and 10-seed Tennessee. We've already seen one upset today. Can the Gamecocks pull off another? Dave Neal, Lance Cormier with the call in just a few. But first, we take you to the studio. For Todd Walker, our fantastic crew, I'm Tom Hart. Enjoy the night session. Dory, the floor is yours.